Anyway, yeah, I see it. It's on. We're rolling. Hooray! What's up, everybody? I'm doing another tag because I tagged myself because I can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep these glasses on because obvious reasons. Anywho, this is the spooky, scary tag, and yes, this is a filler episode. There are always filler episodes. I'm not that fast a reader. I'm about smack in the middle of The Godfather, so in a week or so, I'll come at you and we can have a powwow about the power of friendship. And I tagged myself off of working man's read because I figured, why shouldn't I? Here we go. Spooky Scary. This is a very 2020 tag. Point the first on the tag. Scary book that reminds you of 2020. I choose My White Whale, Demons, or The Possessed by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I've only gotten to page 400 out of 600 or so, but I get the gist of it. It's about some little off-brand town in Russia in the mid-1800s, 1850s, 60s or so, before the Decembrists and the revolution and all that. This was like a precursor to that. They say that he, saw the future and all that. The kids come back from the big city. They've all now have sordid pasts and scary ideas. Peter Stepanovich is like this ringleader of some weird crew, but it's not really a weird crew that he's leading. It's just a bunch of loose cannons that he just happens to know. He uses each person's idiosyncratic thought patterns and behaviors to his own ends. He creates a mock revolution, but really just a person who was going to kill himself killed himself at the end, or died, whatever happened there. Anywho, it's just so much like what's happening now. Our biggest issue is the information issue. In the same way that the telephone game helped Peter Stepanovich distill terror, if you log on to Twitter, you'll see nothing but a never-ending stream of cataclysmic events. It really doesn't mean anything, but if everyone knows it, then everyone's like, oh, now what happened? Oh, Johnny got an F on his report card. It's just a lot of stuff you don't need to know about. I mean, besides all the fake stuff, but that's just even more of the issue. Anyway, number 2, what's that say? New spooky novel that you want to read in 2021. This isn't new, I'm not really into, horror, but I just recently got into crime. I read other crime books I'm just not talking about because you know everything about what I'm doing. I figured the next logical step would be horror, or maybe war. Anyway, the book I want to read came from the homie Noah over at Everyone Who Reads It Must Converse. He recommended this book called Blindness by maybe Jose Scaramanga, maybe Jose Scaramanga, not Scaramanga, It won the Nobel Prize for Literature in I don't know what year it was. I should know that, shouldn't I? It's a book where everyone is going blind, and the way he described it was super creepy. The only horror book that I've read is Misery by Stephen King, and I really liked it. I found it very difficult to stop reading that book, and that was maybe 3 years ago. Anywho, yeah, I'm kind of stoked because it seems to be very disturbing read, so I want to see how that plays out. Numero 3, an author that you're scared to read. I'm not scared to read this author because, it's gonna mess up my head or something. I'm scared because it's a wallop. The author is David Foster Wallace. Primarily, I'm realizing more and more as I do this channel, the best way for me to bring value to this channel is to read a book that's just too big for other people to read, or too annoying for other people to sit down and read. I figure I better start reading The Infinite Jests, The Wars and Pieces, The Friggin' Stand, it's kind of time for me to get into these books. Just gosh, that book seems so annoying with the friggin' flipping back and forth. This seems like it's gonna be an annoying read. Anywho, I guess I'm gonna do it. Number 4. Okay, this is when it stops being a BookTube channel and starts being a vlog. What do you miss most? I definitely miss being able to strike up casual conversation without making an enemy, because that seems to be highly probable in this year. You say the wrong thing the wrong way, or the right thing the wrong way, and suddenly you've got an argument on your hands. Let me give you an example of that. Check this out, yo. So this is one of my haunts. I like to read here, deep in the night, the park closes at 10:30. So I'm pretty much here until 10:30. But I didn't do this. Look at that. Uh, you see that right there? Good old BLM burned into this aluminum or whatever this is table. I didn't write that. I'm sure that whoever did it was trying to have some kind of like, we support black people or something, but that's not how I see it. I look at that and I think, oh, they're gonna think I did that. I'm not comfortable in a freaking suburb. Small towns creep me out. Places where there's no foot traffic creep me out. Anyways, that says BLM. It doesn't say Black People Matter. It says BLM. BLM is a political group. They have political goals in mind. The organization doesn't necessarily go for the same things that I go for. So that doesn't necessarily represent me or make me feel comfortable. You know what I mean? But I can't go around and say that I don't agree with Black Lives Matter, because then the conversation becomes, what do you mean? You don't think that black people shouldn't be shot in the street? That's not what I said. It's very difficult in these days to hash out what we mean, because what we say, the words are steeped with so many different contexts that any one of them could fit in the context of the sentence that we create, unless we get really, really annoyingly specific about the way we construct our sentences. And that might just be the way it has to be. You know what I mean? Number 5, how will you forge ahead in 2021? By minding my business. That's how I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna do whatever I wanna do.
Real. I don't know what I was thinking beforehand worrying about that stuff. If I want to read The Godfather in a corner of a public park at 10:30 at night, I guess that's what I'm doing now, ain't I? Also, someone tabbed up my freaking tunnel. I thought the same thing there. Like, man, they're gonna think I did that. I don't go to your freaking like haunts or wherever your living room or whatever, and just write, I told you I was everywhere at Thalo Gray on the wall. I don't do that. I don't know why they're doing that where I hang out. That was the YouTube scary spooky tag. Okay, I get to tag people now because that's how you play the game. MG reads and Lost in a Bookcase. Dang, so that's that. Godfather's up next. Take care, kids.